Hi, everyone. Hi, Shelly Shack. You're the first one here. Yeah, I buy dumb things all the time too, but what is the dumbest thing you've ever bought in your whole life? We'll discuss it after I tell you all the things I sold this week. In the meantime, let's wait till other people come in here. What have you been doing? Hi, Bumblebee. Ah, yeah, I'm giving everybody a chance to think of the dumbest thing that they ever bought that they can remember. We'll discuss it after I show you what I sold. Hi, Janet. Hmm. I had a fairly good week for me. Yeah. I sold 12 things on eBay and 14 things on Poshmark. So I sold a total of 26 items. So actually, I'm ahead of the game. If you count 3 a day, and I've skipped one day, so, really I only listed 18 items and I sold 26 items. So I like it like that. Uh, yeah. Uh, yeah, I try not to compare my numbers with anybody else's because, yeah, it's just better than I usually do or have been doing. Yeah. It seemed to be all Poshmark for a while, but it came out just to be two difference. I did sell more on Poshmark, 14 and 12 on eBay. But the average selling price is a little surprising. It's close, but actually eBay beat just by like $1. Yeah. I sold both newer things that I put on and older things that I've had. So it was a good mix of things. Yeah. Let's see. I have a picture of one of the dumbest things I bought. But I don't have a picture of the other thing. It's long gone. Bumblebee, I haven't ever asked myself that question. Not in my nature. Maybe that's a fault. Oh no. You'd know if you bought something really dumb. It would stick in your mind. I don't know why this first thing uh, just popped into my mind, something about it. That made me think of the second thing too. So I'm sure there's more, but that's what I've thought of. Yeah, it's a beautiful day here, but it's still chilly. I'm cold at 60, so I don't know what I'm going to do this winter. Will I survive the winter? The cold? When I go out to put the chickens away or get the chickens out, I was thinking about what it's going to be like, what it's like in the winter, trying to get across the driveway on the ice and snow, and it's so cold. Of course, I'll have warmer clothes on. Yeah. Since I finally, last year, I discovered how to get across my driveway if it's icy. I do have some salt, but if I go through that, then yeah, what I did last year was I just took, when I clean out the chicken coop, I keep all the hay and the straw and the shavings in a big barrel until it's full, and then I, just dispose of it, but in the compost pile. But while it's in that big barrel and it's in there usually all winter, last year I just used that. I used the straw and I made myself a straw path. And it worked on the really icy days. But in order to make the path, you have to get across the ice once. Yeah. Yeah, well, I got a Chewy's box today, just a little one. I just needed some kibbles for the dog, some of the better kibbles that I use, because those other ones were eaten up by the moths, and I can't use them anymore. So those are that tremendous amount of dog food I had to throw out. So this time I just bought little 5-pound bags, and I will try to dump them in another plastic bag and then put them in the container that's supposed to safeguard them against any of those little things. Hi, Ruby. Ah, yeah, so that's all that in one container of cat food. That's all I got in this. It was just a little box for me. So, what do you think? Let's get started on what I sold. Yeah, I have a pack of things here. And divide them. We'll start with eBay. So I'm going to share my screen. The kind of kibbles that I'm using, you can get them at Chewy's, and they're. I should bring the bag out here. How the name just slipped out of my head, but I will go get the bag if it doesn't come back in my head. I will tell you, 'cause it's a strange name, but it's on the good list, and it was okay by my dog walker, who knows everything about pet nutrition. I swear. Thank you. Yes, remind me then. Remind me right after I get done doing the what sold things, and I'll go get the bag if I haven't thought of it by then. All right, I'm going to share my screen. Okay, the first thing, I think I remember getting this. This was a beautiful top. It's like a kimono. It's a dressy tunic top. There were like armholes This was all open, but there was one, like a few stitches where you could tell where your arm would go through. But this is all beaded. It was very flowy and beaded. It's by Catherine's, and it was in a size 2X. And this sold for $17.59. It was in a 20% off sale. And yeah, this went, I'm not going to be able to see without the magnifying where these things went. Albuquerque, New Mexico. Okay. The next thing, I'm thinking maybe this was in Bumblebee's box. I got it right around that time. I'm not sure if I got it or if it was in her box. It was a linen resort wear men's large half button shirt by Sunset Sport, 3/4 sleeves, ivory. It looked like something that you'd buy on vacation at a shop, like on the islands or something. Really nice shirt. And this sold for $24.99. This was its regular price, so this must have sold on a Monday. Mondays usually go at least half the day without any sales being on. It's when I adjust prices and I put the sales on later in the day. Yeah. So this went for $24.99, which I was happy about that. And this went to Jackson, Maryland. The next thing is this cute little pair of linen shorts. I believe this was in Bumblebee's box. By Old Navy. They were linen in a medium, this mustard and white floral color. And they sold for $16.99. And they went to Dickinson, Texas. This top is, I think I got this in that thread-up box. This is by Vince, a brand that used to sell for really high, doesn't anymore. This is a cotton knit block color in a size small, blue and black. And this just sold for $11.99. This would have sold for at least twice that amount or more a couple years ago. So this went to San Rafael, California. Yeah, only $11.99. It was 20% off. I had marked it down to $14.99, but then the sale went on. So this is a pair of Indigo Rain pull-on pants. Now, these were either in Bumblebee's box or the thread-up box, because I just recently got this. I think they were in the thread-up box. Yeah, they sold for $14 best offer that I took. I'm taking a lot of best offers to obviously sell things. These went to Palm Desert, California. $14. They paid. This is all plus shipping. They'll pay shipping prices on top of that. You can see the shipping price down here that they pay. Okay, this is a Coldwater Creek open cardigan women's. It was sort of an open knit, almost like a crochet knit. This was all kinds of colors in this. This is pretty. In a size 14. This went to Hazel, Kentucky, and it sold for $13.59. Seems not very much for this top. I can imagine at Coldwater Creek, the store, that this probably sold for a good amount. but they had to pay Ground Advantage shipping, and it was heavier, so they paid $8.95 shipping on this. Let's see here. Oh, this are the cute little toddler shoes. Just little loafer shoes. These sold for a $10 best offer that I took for sure. I've had these for quite a while. And I think one time when I went shopping, I saw a bunch of little kids' shoes that were so cute, and I just bought them. Now, they don't sell that good, but this one's finally sold for $10 plus shipping, and they went to Houston, Texas. This is by Divided. It's an H&M brand. Button-up shirt, women's size 6 in this striped, sort of orange and white striped, lightweight cotton, and this sold for a $10 best offer that I took, plus shipping. And this went to Sebastopol, California. The next thing is a pair of Talbot's Petites cotton blend pants, women's size 8. They had a little stretch in them, and they were, I think, new with tags. Yes, new with tags. They went to Elkhart, Indiana, I think that says. Elkhart, Indiana. And they sold for $15 best offer plus shipping. This was a cute little American Eagle top in a size large, a crop top that tied at the waist, short sleeve in this tropical print. This went to Syracuse, New York. It sold for $12 best offer that I took, and plus shipping. A lot of times I'll have things marked down, like this was marked down to $13.59, and then she offered $12, which I took. Okay, here's a pair of Clark's Collection Brown Navy Mary Jane flats in a size 8 medium in this brown leather, and they were in pretty good condition. They sold for $18 best offer, and they went to Belmont, North Carolina. And the last thing on eBay, I sold yesterday, I think, this cute Secret Treasures brunch graphic t-shirt. It says, "Good morning, I see it's time for brunch." Yeah, it's like a little sleep shirt. It was longer than just a t-shirt, so I called it a sleep top. I don't know if it really was, or if it was just a really, really long t-shirt. You could wear it like a t-shirt and sort of tie it at the waist, I suppose. But it sold for $14.45, 20% off sale, and it went to, looks like Tracy, California. Yes, Tracy, California, plus shipping. Okay, that's what I sold on eBay. Now on Poshmark, here's this cute little gingham skirt. Now, I think this came in the thread-up box. The Who What Wear gingham full midi skirt. It was 100% cotton. It was lined. It had pockets, and it was this cute gingham print. It had a lot going for it. This sold for $16. There was a shipping discount, so I made $10.78 on this top, or this skirt. Next thing is a pair of jeans I've had for a long time. They were $7 for All Mankind. They were a size 26, faded black jeans in a boot cut. Yeah, I used to buy those whenever I could find them, but all of a sudden they didn't sell anymore. So then I had a bunch of them. So these sold for $22, and I netted $17.60, and they went to Reno, Nevada. This is a Knox Rose dress. I'm pretty sure I buy all this Knox Rose stuff because I usually sell it all. This is sold for $20. I made 16 net on this. And keeping in mind that on Poshmark, they all pay I think it's $7.95 shipping price on top of anything that they buy. So that would be $20 plus the shipping costs that they pay. This went to Thomasville, North Carolina, the place where they make furniture. Thomasville, I know that brand because my bedroom set is Thomasville. I have a 4-poster bed and 3 pieces of furniture up there by them. Okay, this is a Levi's 515 denim shorts with cuffed bottom. They were Bermudas in a size 8 women's. Had flap pockets in the back. These sold for $21. There was a shipping discount of $202. That's what all the shipping discounts are that I give. And so I made $14.78. These went to Castle Rock, Colorado. Next thing, now I've had these for a while. I'm glad I sold these. These are by Merrill, and they are the Moab 2. The Moab 2. They're Gore-Tex. They're waterproof hiking shoes. They had vibrant soles, and they were a men's 9.5. These sold for $35. I netted $28 from these. And these went to Poughkeepsie, New York. I'm not sure where I got this. If I got this or if I got this, I'm not sure. It's by Cisono, which I've never heard of. But it was this, I might have bought these because when corduroy came into being real popular. This is an outerwear wide corduroy shacket in this mauve color. And yeah, in fact, when I was watching something on TV, I saw somebody that was an actress wearing this when she's being interviewed. I swear it was the same exact top. Anyway, had flap pockets. It sold for $28, and I got $22.40. Went to Simpsonville, South Carolina. Another pair of shorts. These are Wrangler. I've had these for a while. These are men's, size 40, relaxed fit, walking shorts. These sold for $15, and I made $12 on these. They went to Mesa, Arizona. Here's a pair of Loft, new with tags, white denim jeans, high rise, skinny, women's size 32 with these sailor looking buttons here by the pockets. They didn't do anything, but yeah, they just gave it that look. They had raw hems, and these sold for $17, and I netted $13.60. Went to Arlington Heights, Illinois. Here, Bumblebee, here's the suede item I sold this week. By Soft Surroundings. This was a draped faux suede open jacket. It was new with tags. It was so soft and nice. This was very flowy for being the suede cloth. Uh, had a good weight to it. It was a size large. It was really nice. This sold for $35 on Poshmark. And I sold this right before you sent me the thing about the suede, which was funny. I netted $28, and this went to Napa, California. Next thing is a Polo Ralph Lauren golf shirt. I remember getting this. This went to Jonesboro, Arkansas. This is this bright green, had a black polo pony on it. And the collar, this was all lined with like a little plaid. It was cute. It sold for $24, but there was a shipping discount of a minus 202, so I made $17.18. Here's a dress. I might have bought this, even though I didn't recognize the brand. But this is by Billa, Billa, sleeveless boho extra large dress. This up here on the bodice, this is all embroidered and beaded. This is really pretty. It was sort of short. It was a gauzy rayon fabric, and this sold for $20. There was a shipping discount, so I made $13.98. Ralph Lauren, heavy cotton pants in a women's 16. They are called the Adele, and they had an inseam of 27. These had been hemmed. So I put that, all about that in the description, and somebody bought it for $15, and I made $12 on these pants. Now, a pair of, I'm sure these are like golf shorts. These are men's Bermuda shorts, men's 34, white and gray plaid. They sold for $12, and I netted $9.02. I think this was a best offer on Poshmark. It's $12, pretty sure. Went to Rochester, New York. I think I just said that. Okay, the last thing I sold yesterday was this nice red nubby knit pullover sweater. Not sure if I got this or if it came in a box. This might come in the blue box. I'm not sure. But it was a nice oversized boxy sweater. I thought I'd sell for more than that, but I did take a best offer of $15 on Poshmark for this. It is by Aerie, which is a brand that doesn't sell for very much, so that's why I took it. Yeah, $15. I made $12, and it went to Midland, Texas. So let me show you the numbers on. This is from the 1st to the 7th. I grossed total sales to $274.93. Now that's on the how many did I say? 12 items on eBay. Now the reason I only netted $87.89 because this is the first week in the month. So this is the week that they take out not only all the fees, well, this is a fee, but it's also the cost of your store. So they also took out $59.95 for me having an eBay store. So the first of the month, first week is always, they take a lot out. So that's why it's such a little amount. So I'm going to come back here and tell you what I did on Poshmark. Okay. Average selling price on eBay was $22.91. Now, Poshmark, I grossed $295. I sold 14 things on Poshmark, but I netted, here's the difference, I netted $227.34. Now, the average selling price, I sold 14. My average selling price was a little lower, just by like not even a dollar. Well, a dollar. $21.07. So pretty close. So between the two platforms, I netted $315.23 on 26 items. So that is, I found a couple other suede items, Bumblebee, but they were already marked pretty low. I think I didn't relist them. I just, I don't even think I did anything with them. They weren't anything special. Probably that's why I should have done something with them. Do they change what's trending like every day, or is it every week? It seems like every day I sort of, if I look, I sort of see something different. How do they know those things are trending if it changes so often? You're getting ready to list the matching gingham black top. That's funny. Yeah, old and new listings. Yeah. And yes, mostly all summer stuff, which was great, except for the red sweater. And it hurt me to sell it for that low, but then I looked at the brand and I thought, well, it's probably not going to sell for much more than that. Yeah. Yeah. They come out every day based on the sales. Yeah, it just changes too fast. Kiki's here. Yeah. Okay, has anybody thought about my question of the day? What is the dumbest thing that you've ever bought? Can be little, it can be big. I have two really dumb things. One is really dumb, and one was I used for a long time, but it was still the way I bought it was really dumb. Shelley says, you had your biggest week ever. It's all because of Brian's job at Stratcom. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe a timeshare? No. Never did that. Oh, for you, a timeshare, although you do use it. Okay. Yeah, those were such a big thing for a while. And then people started having a problem. They don't talk about them too much anymore. Suede and boots are, of course, in higher demand in the fall. Yeah. I like fall and winter clothes, selling fall and winter clothes better, I think. First of all, they sell for more, like you said, and they're just, I don't know. My Goodwills, my places get more of that type of thing, it seems. Uh, Not noticing stains and holes. That's so irritating, isn't it? And sometimes you don't actually see them until you're photographing in the light. Yeah, that's so disappointing. You think you may have something nice, even though it's not, really expensive thing, but you're all ready to put it on and then you find a hole in it. Yeah. Strategic Air Command, DOD. DOD. Anyone who works there is not allowed to have any transmitting items on their person, like no cell phones, no Apple Watches, no Bluetooth hearing aids. Wow. Strategic Air Command. Well, I didn't know that. It's the Department of Defense. Yeah. Well, I guess that's good. Uh, well, I'll give you an example. My dumbest thing ever, and why. I, like many people, way back in my younger days, this was in my other house. In my other house. In fact, I can show you my other house. I didn't put it on, which I should have. This is when we bought the house. This is not what it looked. I'll show you what it looked like after we painted it. This was in Parma Heights, and this was our other house where we lived before we moved here. It was just a tiny little lot with a one-car driveway. Okay. See, this for sale sign still up. We just bought this house. I really like this house. And this is after we painted it. We took those ugly awnings off and the front screen door off, and we painted it in this nice color. So that was the house we lived in before. So when we were in that house, I was still working as a nurse, and we still had an antique shop in Avon, and I was busy all the time. So I had ordered a treadmill, a big treadmill for both of us, my husband and I, like a lot of people did back then. Treadmills were hot. So I didn't know, I was never home to get it delivered at my house. So I had them deliver it out to the antique shop. That was the dumb part. Well, they were both dumb parts. So it came like it was so heavy. This was a huge treadmill. I mean, I couldn't even move it. That's how heavy it was. So it came from a freight company delivered it. They brought it into the sunroom of the house. We were at the big house on the road by then. And there sat. I told my husband that I had bought this treadmill, and he didn't understand how we were going to get it home. So I don't know if we rented something to bring it home in, or if we still had the big van at the time. We may have had the big van. And somehow, I think the two of us carried that thing out and put it in the van and then brought it in the house. It weighed a ton. So that was my absolute dumbest thing that I ever bought. And the dumbest part was where I had it delivered. Yeah. Yeah, we had to roof the house. We also had to have the house waterproof. The basement leaked. So we had it dug all the way around. And however they waterproof a basement, you know, that way. And we had all new windows put in that house too. But we lived in that house for quite a while. The whole time my kids were in high school. Yeah, and then Jack's ex-wife died. She had ovarian cancer. She died, and his two kids came to live with us. So we had four. This makes my head hurt. We had four teenagers in the house. Four teenagers. I was working full time. Jack was working full time. It was like a nightmare. And yeah, it. I remember, the boys. There were two boys, my son and his son, and then two girls, our daughters, and they were all sort of the same, similar ages. I remember the boys. They were always wanting to eat. You'll have that. They were always standing in the kitchen with the refrigerator door open. I kept going in and saying, "For God's sake, close the refrigerator door." Yeah, the kitchen was tiny back then. A friend of ours who was a carpenter, who's the one that built this chicken coop out here in this house and built my deck in this house, he refinished our kitchen in that house. Yeah, but it was just a little kitchen. So, yeah, it was a really nice house. It had sunrooms off of the living room and then off of the picture. You can see them on this older picture. See over here, these two rooms. One was off the living room and one was off of our bedroom, a sunroom. Yeah, it was a nice house. But the backyard was the one we bricked in. It was a tiny, tiny little yard. And we got all those paving bricks and we bricked the whole thing like into a courtyard. We did a lot of work in that house, come to think of it. Yeah. But I couldn't stand not having. I gardened as much as I could in the tiny space. And I do have pictures of the gardens, but they're on my iMemories, which I can't show you, unfortunately. But I did have gardens, little bitsy ones. But I had to get to a place where I could do real gardening. So that's why I wanted to move to the country. Yeah. I saw the colors of that house a few streets over. A house was painted that. They had just had it painted. And I went up to the house and talked to the people and got the colors that they used because I just loved that combination. And that's how I found the paint for the house. And then a friend of Jack's was a painter. My husband knew everybody that did anything. So he knew carpenters, he knew plumbers, he knew electricians, and painters. Yeah. Shelley says, "I'm clearly becoming an incredible handy woman." That's good to be. YouTube has been getting me through all these house problems. I know, isn't YouTube wonderful? I've learned also how to do many things on YouTube. Yeah. So can anybody beat that one? He couldn't use his Apple Watch, so you sold it. Good. That's a good thing to do. 14 in the chat. Yes, it was such a pointy house. It was. Uh, uh, I'd hate to have to climb up on that roof. The little front peak above the front door. This little room right here is a closet off of, this was my daughter's bedroom here. And this is all her bedroom. And this was a little closet that went out and had a little window in it. Yeah. And this house had an attic. I mean, a walk-up attic that you could actually walk up the steps and stand in it. So you can imagine the stuff we collected in that house. You know, when you have a full attic with a floor in it and everything, you can save lots of stuff. So before we moved to this house, that has no attic to speak of, it's a bigger house, but we had to get rid of a lot of stuff. Mm. Yes, when you can do things yourself, it does save a ton of money. So, the other dumb thing I have a picture of. Now, it's dumb, but it's not dumb. It's dumb how I bought it. I told you once before I bought this. See this cute little Country Charm stove. This is in the kitchen of that house, the pointy house. And this house came with a perfectly good stove, but I wanted this one. This is cast iron. It's supposed to look like a wood stove. Now you can see it's electric. It has electric coils there. So it's not a real, but it's shaped and all the measurements are like an old cast iron wood stove. So the oven is tiny little. The oven was just a little box. You couldn't even put a full turkey in there. Yeah. And it was short, very short. We had to put bricks. I don't know if you can see them. Underneath there, it's sitting on bricks, paving bricks, to raise it up. Yeah, they were real little. So, where did I get this? I bought this at an auction. My girlfriend and I, when we first decided to have a store, we went in with my good friends of ours, another couple. So the very first store we had that's not even shown on any of these pictures was out in Hinckley, Ohio. And we went in with another couple to have this antique store. Well, they'd go with us to these auctions. Well, this is one time when the guys didn't go and only me and Linda went. So we went to the same auction like weekly. This was a big auction in Burton, Burton, Ohio, in a big barn. And it was a weekly auction. And we went there and we got to know some other buyers and pickers that went to this auction. And one one guy, well, it was two guys. They did the business together. They were pickers, whereas they would buy stuff and then they would sell it to antique dealers. And that's how they made their money. They were sort of a middleman. So they were there. Well, when this little stove, which I had seen in all the country living magazines, that's when I first saw these stoves, these country charm stoves. When this came up for auction, I couldn't help myself. I bid it and bought it. And Linda says, how are we going to get that home? Because I don't know. I don't even know what kind of car we had or what we're driving back then, but it wasn't a truck. So we asked the pickers, the guys we knew that were at the auctions, if they would take it as far as Hinckley to where our store was. And they said, yeah. So they loaded this on their truck and they brought it to the store. And then I don't know how my husband and Gary, then one other day, brought it from the store to my house. Or it might have been in the store for a while. And then when we moved into this house, in the Pointy house, then we brought it there. Yeah. So when we moved from that house to this house, it wouldn't fit in the space in my kitchen. So at the time, I didn't have this kitchen I do now. It wouldn't fit, so it lived in the garage for a long time. And do you know who ended up taking it? Was my best friend, Midgie, from Alabama. They were from Florida, but they had a beautiful log cabin that they had built in Alabama. And that's where they wanted it, for the log cabin. It was perfect for there. So they came with their big RV and somehow got it up in there and took it home. So it went to a good place. Yeah, I used it for a few years, but yes, it was very inconvenient because I didn't have an oven to speak of, just for little things. I mean, you could make a cake, but you couldn't make a great big dinner or anything. So those are my two dumbest things that I ever bought. You bought a cherry-shaped toilet brush and decided that I would make one bathroom here a cherry theme. Now that bathroom has been turned into my shipping and receiving department. That's funny. Oh, thank you. Yes, please. Where's my sign? Please like and subscribe and share this video, or all my videos. I have a million of them. Kiki says, I bought an enormous motorcycle when I was about 20 and didn't know how to ride. Oh no. And it was so heavy, like your stove, you had to return it. Yeah, that's one of, any of my dumb buys had to do with weight. Oh. Yeah. My son he bought a motorcycle, a used motorcycle. The first one he bought, I was just, I didn't want him to have a motorcycle. But that was in the Pointy house. He had it, and he took it out of the garage, and he was going to ride it. And first trip down the driveway, he went to turn out of the driveway and fell over. I thought, oh, this is a great start. But he finally learned how to ride better. Then he bought a Harley, which he still has. But he doesn't ride very much anymore at all. Thank goodness. He never goes on the highways anymore. At least that's what he's telling me. I certainly hope not. Because heaven knows if he has a helmet. I bought him a helmet when he first got a motorcycle. That's the very first thing I bought him. Because I was an ER nurse. I know the difference between motorcycle riders, accidents with a helmet and a no helmet. One, you have a lot of road rash, and the second one, you're dead. That's the difference. I tried to instill that knowledge into my son. Yeah. Yes, good to quit when you're ahead. That's right, Kiki. Yeah, for sure. This is fun. It sounds like everybody else is smarter than us. Nobody has really dumb things here. Yeah. I don't know why that treadmill came into my mind. Maybe I was looking, I think it was when I was upstairs looking for pictures, these pictures. I have one more picture to show you. It doesn't have anything to do with dumb things, but I had told you about this. So I think that's when I was going through these old pictures, I saw pictures of our old shop, and that's what brought it to my mind. Anyway, I told you about us going fishing, and that I had gone fishing with my husband up into shipping in the up in Canada to the fishing camps. I went, my girlfriend, the same girlfriend that had the shop with us, it's the same couple. We went up to Canada. You only could drive so far, and then you parked your car, and then they would come to get you in boats. And they would come to get you in one boat, and then you take another boat, your own boats. You would take them down the river. Now, you had to go through some rapids to get to the fishing camp. I mean, they weren't horrendous rapids like you see the movies. They were just little rapids, but they were enough for me. So we went down the river, through the rapids, and finally got to the fishing camp. So I have a picture of me at the fishing camp on our little dock with a string of fish. And the fish you caught up there were walleye. And you see, look at that string of fish. That's me. Yeah. The best fish I've ever had were, first of all, the best fish I think is Lake Erie perch, not ocean perch, Lake Erie perch, freshwater perch. I think that's the best. But this is the second, walleye with beer batter. The guys knew how to make the best beer batter. I mean, they would go to these fishing camps with 10 to 20 guys in this group. mostly 10. 10 guys would go together. A lot of them were
Don't forget to take out your trash cans.
A lot of them were fly-in fishing camps, but they would fish and then take a break in the afternoon and fix a shore lunch, they'd call it. And they'd make beer batter and make this wonderful meal on the shore, on the rocks. It was all rocks up there. And yeah. So whenever we had the fish fry, they would save, every year they would save all the fish, freeze it, save it. They could only bring so much through the border. Each fish had to be, some of the scales had to be left on each fish so the border people could check to make sure what fish you're bringing back and how many. And they could bring only so much. So then we'd have, at the end of the summer, we'd have a big picnic and the guys did all the cooking. And they would make these fish with the beer batter. And that was just delicious. And I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to make beer batter. I'm sure there's recipes, but I don't go fishing. So, yeah. They made it in Florida too, but those fish, ocean fish, are different. They're fishier. Yeah. Yeah, the fishing. I have others too. They're pretty awful. Yeah. Good times. I have a lot of good memories, Jack. We did a lot. I would have never got to do all the stuff that I got to do in my life if it wasn't for him. Ah. All right, that's about it for today. And thank you all for joining. So I hope I continue to have better weeks. Wouldn't this be wonderful? It was just the start of fourth quarter early. And things just continued. Now, I've already sold 3 things. And I have, oh, Bumblebee, I wanted to ask you, like, what happens when you sell something on Poshmark or you take an offer, okay? And then it says that they can't finish the sale. I mean, Poshmark says, because there's a problem. Is it because they haven't put their way of paying in? They bought the thing, they bought the item, but then the sale doesn't go through. Sometimes it'll go through in a day or two because I've accepted the offer, and then the thing's in limbo. Well, not so much in Poshmark. I think until it's actually sold, other people can buy it. Yeah, so I have one hanging out, a sweater vest thing hanging out over there that I took the offer, but it's not, the sale didn't go through. So we'll see about that. Yeah, I hope this year goes better than last year. If you remember, last year's fourth quarter stunk. So I am going to close. I'll see you all, not Tuesday. I'm going to do Thursdays. I'm going to do Sundays, Thursdays. In the middle of the week, I'll do a Thursday, not a Tuesday. Okay? Because I'm doing recorded videos too. So I'll have recorded videos on, but no live on Tuesdays. It'll be on my next live is on Thursday at 7. So I'll see you then. And be good, everybody. Be blessed. Bless somebody. and I'll see you then. Bye.